Hello and welcome to Matt's Casual Cooking. Today we are going to be making beef and steak quesadilla burgers. Very easy meal that you can make for any time of the week, any time of the day. So I'll go over all the ingredients and how to make it, and let's get to it.
Okay. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go over all your ingredients today that you're going to need. Now, I'm using 2 pounds of ground beef. I'm using a pound of ribeye. I'm using large flour tortillas. I've got some cheese and I've got some bell peppers, onions, and green onions as well. Now, on the veggies, can't tell you how many you're going to need because it's just if you want them or not. And also get out some cheese if you like it. Now, I've already, on the ground beef, I've already flattened it onto the tortilla, and the reason I did this is because we're going to cook it directly into the pan, so it actually kind of needs to be almost as flat as you can, because we need to cook it all the way through. Now we are going to flip it over and cook it on the other side, but this is about a half a pound of ground beef. It's probably a little less, but it's about a half pound. So go ahead and get out a pan that's big enough. I've got a 12-inch pan. Go ahead and turn it to medium high for this, and well, let's get cooking. So our pan is nice and preheated, so what we're just going to do now is just going to take it and sit it in there. Just let it start cooking. Now it's really going to be your judgment call on how done this is. But we definitely want to give it a couple minutes and just take like a spatula or some tongs, and just if you're not sure, just kind of lift it up and look at it and make sure that it is cooked through. Alright, so it's pretty much cooked through at this point. So what we're going to do now is take a spatula. What we're going to do is just flip it over. And we do want to cook the back side because there's a little pink at the bottom, but it's not really affecting it that badly. So we're just going to give it a couple minutes and then we're going to slide it off onto a plate. Alright, for this one the bottom is done. So what we're just going to do is we're just going to take it and we're going to set it aside onto a plate for the time being. And now what we want to do is just take another tortilla shell, and we're just going to heat this up, and then we're going to actually put this onto the one we just cooked as kind of like a barrier. Now while you're doing this, so while you're cooking the middle, if you want to, go ahead and get some cheese out. And I'm just going to kind of put it on there. Now you can, while you're cooking this side, if you want to cook the cheese, you certainly can. I'm just going to put some cheese down, and I'm going to put some veggies on top. Now you can, if you want to, if you want to cook some veggies and put them on, you certainly can. Alright, we're just warming this tortilla up right now. And that tortilla is done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the last one. So you got your pan. go ahead and put your other one on. As ungracefully as you can. I'm just going to kind of press it down. It's still kind of cold, so I'm not too worried about getting burned right now. It's starting to get a little hot. Now on your tortilla that you're waiting for, if you want to go ahead and do exactly what you did before, put some cheese and put some vegetables down. Now would be a good time, so when that's done, we can just put it right on top. Alright, so the top is done on this one, and then just what we want to do is go ahead and take it. Now if you don't have a big spatula like this, don't fret, just kind of take the pan and actually just flip it over. So what we're just going to do is take a pair of tongs, just kind of move it over. It's okay, it's falling off a little bit, that's not a big deal. And we got a little piece that fell off, but so there's the first burger. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to do something a little different because these are also quesadillas, so we're going to go ahead and cook it and actually fold it like a quesadilla. So go ahead and prep your meat like you did for these burgers, and I'll show you here in just a minute. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and cook this one just like the other one, so go ahead and put it in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself a little space here actually to flip it over. If you're having problems flipping it over in the pan, give yourself a little bit of room here to flip it over. And just press it down. Pan's not too hot. If you think the pan is too hot, go ahead and just use a spatula, kind of push the meat down a little bit so it can cook evenly. Now on this one, what we want to do is we want to get our cheese and our veggies ready if you're going to use it, because as soon as we flip it over, we're going to cook it, and then we're going to pretty much flip it and cut it as soon as we're done. Alright, so the meat is done. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, like with before, go ahead and flip it over. Now what we want to do very quickly, obviously the backside is going to cook pretty fast. What we're going to do, go ahead and take your cheese or veggies or whatever you want. And let that sit there. Go ahead and add some veggies in the middle. You don't necessarily want to add too much. And add a little bit more cheese. And what we're going to do now, while it's cooking, go ahead and if you need a smaller spatula, go ahead and get one. It will work better. This thing does not want to comply right now. So move the cheese back more to the middle, and we're just going to kind of pull over and push down. And just going to cook it like this for right now. Now some of your veggies might be falling out, that's fine. They're cooking. Go ahead and this time flip it over. And I lost a couple veggies, but now the panda, that's okay. I know I say that a lot, but it's fine. do want to thinly slice it, just like I said earlier, because we want to cook this pretty quick and make sure it's cooked all the way through. Now we are cooking the steak first before we put the tortilla shells on, and I'm only going to do this like I just did the last one, where we're folding it over to make. I don't really have enough steak right now to really do two burgers. Alright, now for this next part, if you want to put this on a temporary plate, what we're going to do is kind of actually take it off the heat. Now I'm just going to kind of hold them all together. So go ahead and get a quesadilla out. And we're just going to put them back onto the quesadilla. We're not really cooking them at this point. So now what we want to do is just take your mozzarella cheese or whatever cheese that you have. Go ahead and put it on the opposite side of the steak. And go ahead and put your veggies. And we are going to go ahead and flip this over. Alright, and so once it's done to your consistency, go ahead and put it on the cutting board and cut it up just like I showed you. Alright, so as you can see, we've got our cut quesadilla burger here, and we've got our quesadilla steak burger. So if you like making this recipe, please like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications, and thanks for watching. Have a good day.